What's up, everybody? It's Roll the Dice Talks back with another video. Today we're going to be talking about that brand new day post-credit scene and what it really means. Okay, so if you're expecting any brand new day hate, this is not going to be the video. To me, Brand New Day is one of the best Spider-Man films, definitely the best MCU Spider-Man film. It doesn't even come close. To the main point of today's video, what is the post-credit scene? It's probably the most vague post-credit scene we've ever had in the MCU. It's definitely up there. Just if you're a casual viewer, it wouldn't seem like anything to you. You'd seem like you've just sat in the theater and waited to watch that for no reason. But to people who know what's going on, people who follow the leaks and the rumors, who follow what the potential storyline of Doomsday and Secret Wars is going to be, I feel like we have a basic idea of what the post-credit scene means. There's three options, really and truly, what it could mean. The first option is the one that I believe it definitely isn't, is Miles Morales. I think it's still too early to introduce Miles, especially like following the success of like Tom's solo films. Like every single one just keeps doing more and more and more, you know what I'm saying? You go from Far From Home done $1 billion, No Way Home 2 billion, Brand New Day 2 billion in its first damn near 2 weeks, you get what I'm saying? So there's clearly still room for growth with this character, clearly still a lot of stories to tell with this character, based on the fact that his first 3 movies was like an elongated origin story. So we still have a lot of story to tell with this Peter Parker, you know? We haven't even dived into the Harry Osborn, Oscorp side of things, the Black Cat side of things, the Gwen Stacy side of things. There's still so much untouched that I feel like introducing Miles Morales this early would be a disservice to Peter and Miles, because it wouldn't allow Miles to shine fully as a character as he should. So let's get into the second option. If it's not Miles, then who is it? Second option is Tom's Spider-Man, which is pretty obvious, you know. Why would he be off world though? That's the question. Why was he here and then he disappeared and then now it's saying located over here? To people who follow the comics, follow the storylines, follow the plot leaks, whatever, you'll know that one of the major plot points that's going to be, if not in the next Avengers movie, but in Secret Wars after it, is Battle World. Doom's going to create Battle World. He's going to bring a bunch of heroes, different variants of different heroes. They're going to be on this world, and it's basically going to be a world controlled by Doom, God Emperor Doom. And obviously in the comics, Spider-Man's one of those characters, and you know, Spider-Man's a big MCU character. They're not going to want to have one of their biggest events without their biggest character. So to me, it's a pretty valid explanation that could be Tom's Spider-Man getting shipped to Battleworld. Or if you follow the comics as well, you know that there's a storyline including a raft. I'm not trying to get too much into spoilers, but you know, when incursions are going on, Battleworld's getting formed, some people create these like life rafts, if you say multiversal life rafts, that allow them to traverse the multiverse without being a part of Doom's new world. Maybe Tom Spider-Man's on one of those rafts. That to me, it's a good explanation, but it's not what I fully believe. I lean more towards the third option. The third option is that it's a different variant of Spider-Man, you know, one of the 2 variants we've previously met, either Andrew or Toby's. Most likely Toby's, you know. I haven't really heard a lot about Andrew since No Way Home. You know, he does a lot of other movies, you know, he's a busy guy, you know. I feel like Toby's kind of chilling. He'll come back for a big payday as Spider-Man, you know. So in my opinion, what I truly believe the post-credit scene at the end is, I believe that is Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And I believe he is going to be the main Spider-Man in Avengers Doomsday. Potential spoiler alert for Doomsday. If you haven't read the plot leaks that are out there, the supposed plot leaks that seem day by day to be having more validity to them, you know, based on trailers that are coming out. And then, you know, the other day we got the pictures of Doom's sorcerers or his apprentices or whatever you want to call it, but that's leaning into a lot of the plot leaks and stuff. But if you've seen the plot leak, then you'll know that Tobey Maguire is meant to be in Doomsday. Now, not in the capacity that a lot of us thought he might be, definitely that I thought he might be. I thought that he'd probably be like in it for most of the film, main Spider-Man for the movie. Apparently he dies in the first scene. Okay, spoiler alert, I did say apparently he dies in the opening act of the movie. Him, Wolverine, Deadpool, they have some fight to save their universes or whatever. Toby and Hugh Jackman end up dying. Now, do I believe this plot leak? Kind of. Does it sound ridiculous? Kind of. But the fanboy in me can see how it would work, you know, and you know, we know Marvel, like, they're not really gonna kill Hugh Jackman and Tobey Maguire's characters off just like that. It will be, they'll either come back at the end of Doomsday in Battle World, or they'll return in Secret Wars or whatever. But part of me does feel like they need to start killing off some of these characters though, but maybe not kill them off, maybe just put them in a pocket dimension, pocket universe where they can just live over there and just live their lives away from the multiverse, away from the sacred timeline. You know, sort of what they do in comics. You know, I know DC's done that with like Superman before, the original like 1939 Superman. I'm pretty sure he existed in like a pocket universe. But regardless of all that, I believe Toby is going to be in Avengers Doomsday. And I believe that that is what the post-credit scene was hinting towards. A new Spider-Man showing up on the tracker, appearing in space or in a different universe, or we as far as that part of it, we don't know. We don't know if it's space, we don't know if it's a different universe. But my guess would be that it is a different Spider-Man variant that that's been alluded to in that scene. You might be asking, like, if Toby's gonna be in Doomsday, where's Tom? Why has Tom not been announced for Doomsday? Like, is he in the movie? Is he not? Personally, I don't think Tom will be in Doomsday. Definitely not in a big role. He might have like a cameo or something, you know, when everyone gets shipped to Battle World. But I feel like Secret Wars is gonna be Tom's movie. Like, genuinely, like, I feel like the way how Infinity War is Thor's movie, I believe Secret Wars will be Tom's movie. It will be a movie to solidify him as the face of the MCU. MCU. Probably introduce Miles through Secret Wars, and lead into Spidey's second trilogy, Tom's second trilogy. You know, by then, by Secret Wars, we'll probably be close to getting his second film. And you know, I believe Tom needs a trilogy. I believe Tom needs a second trilogy to close it up. Last movie of the trilogy, hand the mantle over to Miles Morales, and then Tom would have to be acknowledged as the GOAT Spider-Man. You know, he's played him the longest. If he manages to complete 2 trilogies, complete a whole long character arc that none of the other Spider-Men had the chance to do, and then he's able to pass the mantle down to Miles Morales, then I feel like we'd have to solidify him as the GOAT. Sorry, Toby. Sorry. You know you're my guy. You know you're my GOAT, but it's been too long, man. But yeah, that's pretty much all I've got as far as the post-credit scene for Brand New Day. As far as the movie itself, I loved it. 9.5 out of 10. The only thing that stop it being a 10 out of 10 for me is that I wish it had a more mainline comic book villain. You know, Jean Grey is fine. I feel like the way how they use her is fine. I'm not opposed to it. I actually like the way how they used her, showing her being a bit evil from the start, because I think they've done that to allow us to not have to do the Dark Phoenix plotline, like, at least for a while, because we've already seen her like kind of leaning into her dark side, so she can be good now. You know, we can see her and Cyclops, and you know, I'm excited for the whole X-Men storyline. Just wish that we could have had a, you know, even the Mr. Negative, someone like that. You know, I wish we could have just had a mainline villain to just kind of solidify the movie, you know, just to give it that stamp. You know, Punisher works perfectly, and his dynamic with Spider-Man. You know, I see a lot of like Punisher fans like kind of going on about how he was portrayed, but I feel like Spider-Man would bring that side out of him. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's different people bring different sides out of you. You know what I'm saying? I feel like even though Punisher is a cold-hearted prick, I still feel like he has that side to him where, you know, he can care for people. You know what I'm saying? I believe that the post-credit scene of Brand New Day is alluding to Tobey Maguire, who will then show up in Avengers Doomsday. Now, what happens after that? I got no clue. Okay, whether he dies, survives, fights, I don't know, turns evil, I don't know. Okay, but we will never know with Marvel in it. But I'm pretty confident in my prediction that yeah, that's what the post-credit scene was alluding to. Before I wrap this up, I just want to say a big thank you to everyone, man. Like, everyone who's commented, liked the video, watched the video, clicked on a video, scrolled past it, just anything, any type of engagement. I appreciate it, man. I'm building this thing from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? The reactions I'm getting so far is even better than I thought it would be at the start. To be honest, I made these videos with it in my mind that 0 people will see them. So if 1 person sees them, 1 person likes, 1 person comments, it means the world. So appreciate it, and I'll see you guys next time, man. Roll the Dice Talks out.